brass helmet of this time.
Lame.
So the obverse of the coin will be based on whatever comes out of the juried competition. The common reverse design shall be a representation of a close-up of the famous Buzz Aldrin on the Moon photograph taken July 20th, 1969, showing just the visor and part of the helmet of astronaut Edwin Buzz Aldrin, in which the visor reflects the image of the United States flag, astronaut Neil Armstrong, and the lunar lander. Considering how the Baseball Hall of Fame commemorative was done, the obverse will likely be the concave side.
The obverse will be concave. Okay.
So that's the concave side's the inside.
Is that right? Yeah.
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 Yeah, convex is the
convex
big
is
side.
the bulging side. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so he does some things with Photoshop, but yeah. Well, but I mean, I actually kind of like the idea. So you wanted to straighten us out on that. And okay, it's like, so, yes, thank you. Thanks for doing your homework. Well, there was something else that he wanted to straighten us out on, and okay. God bless him because he did his homework. And then there was something else that we're just going to leave it go. Okay, it was said, during the last show, it was asked when the U.S. Mint will do pure silver commemoratives. One comment was that the U.S. Mint had to get the planchets out of the system. This is incorrect. Okay, I think it was just kind of an offhanded, flippant comment that you made. But this is incorrect.
Don't make those?
Well, yeah, we all do. I mean, that's what the show is. It should be Flippant Comments 101. Were written before the recommended changes to say at least. Because the law says so, they will be struck using 90% silver planchets. Okay, so he actually goes through and he quotes the public law, which, I mean, hey, good for him, even though he misquoted the public law. And he gave me one that named a post office instead of one that actually enacted the. But if you didn't make the typo that he made, you find the legislation that he's talking about, and the two acts that he brings up. The one is the 2017 Lions Club commemorative.
Okay.
3 coins he mentions. One is the 2018 World War I American Veterans Centennial Silver Dollar. And one is the breast cancer dollar. And the breast cancer dollar had to have, all this language in it because they're talking about doing a rose gold. And that you have to take down the gold content in order to get it pink.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I mean, they have to take it down to like 75% in order to put enough copper in it to turn it pink.
Turn it pink, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, and that's what they want to do. That's the spirit of the thing. But the point is about, the U.S. Mint making 100%, pure...
Fine silver?
Right, fine commemorative coins. And here's the deal. As far as the law that they passed enables them to now make coins out of 100% silver blanks, which means that they can now make the silver proof sets out of 100% silver if they so desire. Okay, if the complaint that it costs too much for them to acquire the blanks, that it would be cheaper for them to acquire the blanks in pure silver, if that's the case, then they're allowed now to do that, and that's up to them. One of the things that he does rightly point out is the 2018 World War I American Veterans Centennial Silver Dollar is legislated in the law, contain 90% silver and 10% copper. It actually is written into the law.
Okay. Whereas
the breast cancer dollar in 2017 is actually legislated to say at least, not less than, is what it actually is. Those are the actual words. Is not less than 90% silver. So you can make those out of 90%, but you can also make them out of 100%. I don't think they're going to make them out of 100 until they stop it as a practice altogether. So I think that because the 18 is scheduled to be 90%, the 2017s will be 90%, and the 2018s will be 90%, and then after that you have to kind of figure it out. And a lot of it will have to do with the price of silver and, all this other kind of stuff that goes on.
Production costs.
Yeah. But, I mean, hats off Scott Barman. It's like he did his homework. He straightened us out. We appreciate it. I mean, that's good on you.
Don't sound so sad.
What? What?
I'm just messing.
Okay. And we're excited. You'll have to. Oh, wait a minute. No. Before I say that, I want to tell you that I was also talking in my summer reading about this book. Okay, and there was another factual error that was, while we're in the Department of Corrections, while we're being processed by our Department of Corrections, I wanted to correct a fact that I misspoke last episode, and that was about the gold being minted in San Francisco. The San Francisco Mint wasn't even started until 1854. So all the gold rush gold was sent from, California to Philadelphia to be minted.
That's kind of what I thought, but when you said no, I was like, oh, whatever.
Well, I appreciate that, but no, it's like it had been a while since I've been looking at books. I'm sorry, but anyway, and because of that, it made me realize, I've been reading this book, and I was saying something about this book that was 1849, The Philadelphia Mint Strikes Gold, and I was telling you how I really didn't understand how it. Now I understand it. It's because at that time, when the gold rush came, the Philadelphia Mint had to mint all this gold, and it's the story of the times leading up to it, and what goes on in the thing. It's a really interesting book.
You have to read that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool book. And so it was, I guess, in my excitement, my fervor, that I kind of missed the facts on that one. And you know what? Here I am. I'm copping to it. So
I love this
just
part.
So everyone
This is
knows.
probably my favorite.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're going to have another game next time, okay?
Oh,
Just
right.
remember that.
I hate those.
So we were excited. You'll have to excuse us. And finally in the news, CoinNews.net is reporting about a 1942 experimental glass cent that sold at auction this past week.
I know. Did you see what it sold for?
Yeah, $70,000.
$70,000.
It's made out of glass.
Don't drop it.
No, but I mean, how do you? Come on. Is it like?
It was in that experimental phase, kind of during World War II. They were trying to figure out what the heck they could make coins on that weren't being used for the war effort. And they ended up making them out of zinc-coated steel.
Right.
But, some of the other things they were looking at, I think there were some plastic pieces made. But they did make this an experimental piece out of glass just to see if they could do it, mostly.
Okay, well, a couple of questions, because one, it's like, clearly this is the only surviving, example.
Well, there is one other one known, but it's broken in half. Somebody dropped it.
Oops. And that would be, But
can you imagine being that guy?
Well, here's the thing, though, is how does this become legal to own and the 74 aluminum cent not? Come on, there's no consistency in all this.
I think it has to do with the amount of time that's passed. But who knows?
I think it's arbitrary.
It's quite possible.
Just saying.
I was just trying to put something out there that sounded like it might be plausible.
Right. But anyway, so this is a glass cent that was made during 1942. They were looking to save on every possible thing during that time. There were shortages of everything, and they put all of their energy and all of their resources towards the war effort. And then you have some of these relics that are left over, things like they said there's a pair of used dies that the U.S. Mint had from one of the plastics experimenters.
There you go.
And there are yellow, amber, transparent glass, quote, blanks from Corning Glass. Okay, but I mean, if I think about that, it's like, how do you do a coin like this? I would think that you'd have to heat it up, and you'd have to compress it between two dies, kind of slowly, almost like you would take, like sealing wax.
I was reading about it. They said they had to get it to almost the melting point of glass, and then they could not heat the dies. So, that's how they did it.
That's interesting. So, Matt, people are constantly cheering for for something different and something on grading and grading coins. And so I wanted to do a segment because, I mean, we've never really kind of tackled this subject.
It's a tricky one.
We kind of I kind of wanted to give, let's give it a view from like 10,000 feet. It's not, this is not meant to be like the end-all be-all.
The quick and dirty?
No, this isn't really the quick, and that's the 35,000 feet. I'm talking about, we'll talk about it a little bit, but kind of have a talk for all of it, because there is the actual explanation of grading and what takes place and what it is, and then there's the grading services.
Okay.
And how they fit into the hobby. And I think that those are two completely different subjects that can be handled at the same time, because I think they relate to each other.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the grading services issue grades, but sometimes their grades aren't either in line with each other or in line with the accepted standards, so on and so forth.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Okay, there's two types of grading in coins. There is what I like to call technical grading, and then there's TPG grading. And technical grading basically takes place, under generally accepted standards like the ANA standards.
Mm-hmm.
But they're different from the TPG standards, and it's really important to understand and know the difference. The TPGs really, they write their own standards. And, coins graded, let's just say MS63 by, one TPG may
mm-hmm.
not be equal to a coin that's graded MS63 by somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean that you should only buy coins, graded by the best TPG, by the best third-party grader, but rather you should learn to appreciate the differences, be able to evaluate the coins independent of whatever slab or certification they hold, and understand where that holder fits into the coin's market value,
mm-hmm.
In order to really kind of capitalize on it.
Well, grading coins is hard. I don't think there's a lot of people that just get into this hobby, and I think they understand that relatively quickly, but it takes a while to learn how to just get grades down.
Well, it also takes exposure to a lot of coins. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you can concentrate on a single series and get it down pretty quick, but in general, it's not easy.
No, it's not. So what I figured is we would kind of give it the quick and dirty on what the actual grades are. And what I wanted to talk about was from ANA standards and standpoint. There are just the basic grades of poor, which is a coin that a poor coin is one that is barely identifiable by type and date.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to tell what date it is.
Do we want to go through the numerical grades of each as well?
Well, poor is 1.
Poor is 1. Yep.
Okay. Then there's
1.
fair.
Yep, but that's 2.
Fair is 2. And fair is, what does it take to be fair?
Just being a little bit better than a poor.
Well, but I mean, poor is barely identifiable. I think to be fair, it has to be, you have to be able to clearly see the date or something like that.
It's different criteria for every, but I mean, it's...
And then, where this always trips up people that don't know anything about the hobby, comes good.
No.
And good... Well, there's about good.
About good.
There's about good, which is 3.
Yep.
And then comes good, which is not really all that good.
No, not really all that good.
Not good. Good is more like not good.
Yeah. And good goes from good 4 to good 6.
Yeah, and good is...
Two levels of good.
Good coins don't even necessarily have complete rims. So they're not... If you ask me, they're not good.
Should be almost there.
Well, but I mean, it's really not a requirement, though, until you get to the next grade. Very good.
Yep.
And very good is really not very good sometimes.
And very good covers VG8 to
VG12.
10. Oh, VG10, yeah. VG10. Sorry, long day.
Yeah, to VG10. And then comes fine. And fine was, when I was growing up, fine seemed to be the low end. That was what the collectors, basically collected. That was fine and to extra fine. That was what they did. That was the niche that they saw.
When you get to a fine grade, the coins actually are going to have full rims. You're going to be able to make out what the heck it is.
Most of the details going to be there. Not all of it, but
I would say most. I would say most. Some of the details.
A good deal of it.
Some of the finer details, let's say.
And then you have very fine.
Very fine's an interesting grade.
Very fine is